Out in the Chihuahuan Desert, beneath miles of rugged, sun-baked terrain, an entire underground landscape remains hidden from sight. Carved over millions of years, Carlsbad Caverns is a maze of towering chambers, twisting passageways, and intricate rock formations shaped by ancient seas and acidic groundwater. This is the final stop on our 7-day road trip through West Texas, even though we're ending it here in New Mexico. We enjoyed art and ate burritos in Marfa, explored Big Bend National Park by land and water, hiked to the highest point in Texas at Guadalupe Mountains National Park, and now we're ending the trip underground. So buckle up and let's hit the road. Good morning. We are currently heading into Carlsbad National Park. This is our third national park on this road trip, which is absolutely crazy. That's tripling the number of national parks that I have been to in my lifetime in 1 week. Yesterday we were at Guadalupe Mountain National Park, which was absolutely gorgeous. This is almost the same park. Like, I think that we are entering essentially the same mountain range, but instead of going on top, we're going to go inside. I think I can speak for both of us when I say that we are tired, exhausted, and we are ready to head home. After we finish this cave tour, we are heading back to Austin, about an 8-hour drive. Hopefully we can stop and get some Chick-fil-A on the way, because I would say we both never eat out. We don't eat fast food a lot. After our Guadalupe Peak hike yesterday, we were driving to Carlsbad and we're like, what do you want for dinner? And we both were like, Chick-fil-A sounds so good. And there's no Chick-fil-A's, at least in Carlsbad. I don't know if they're not in New Mexico at all. If you know, let me know. But like the closest Chick-fil-A to Carlsbad was like 140 miles or something back in Texas. So clearly we did not get Chick-fil-A. Maybe we'll get it on the way back. Carlsbad was a very interesting little town. This morning we got breakfast in a little cafe, which was so cute. I think we had people say hi to us probably 10 times, just good morning, welcome in. If you were sitting on the porch enjoying your own breakfast, it was almost like you were expected to be the greeting party and say good morning to people. So like when Audie and I were sitting on the patio, he was telling people good morning. This is when I will now transition the video into us at the park. Go.
That's how you get stuck. Hello.
Okay, you gotta get all the way out. Oh, can you do it? Oh, professional caver. I will not be visiting you. No, I'm gonna take the easy way and go around. 750 feet underground. Here we go.
Ooh, I can feel my ears. 1 second. Oh, I can feel the pressure drop.
Going down. We made it down. There's no one else down here. We're alone. Kinda creepy that we're alone. Carlsbad Caverns began forming millions of years ago when the sea was covered by the ancient Delaware Basin, part of a vast inland sea during the Permian period. As the water receded, it left behind a massive limestone reef known as the Capitan Reef, which acidic groundwater slowly carved into the vast chambers we see today. If you watched our Guadalupe Mountains video, Capitan Reef probably sounds familiar because that is the same reef that was part of the Guadalupe Mountains that we hiked just yesterday. The discovery of the cave goes like this, even though long before settlers arrived, indigenous peoples knew of these caves. In 1890s, a teenager named Jim White spotted what looked like smoke rising from the desert. It turned out to be thousands of bats streaming from the cavern entrance at sunset. Curious, he ventured inside with only a homemade wire ladder and a lantern, mapping out what would later become a national park. Today, you can follow in his footsteps, descending 750 feet into the cave through the natural entrance, but as you could see, we took the elevator. We were exhausted after a week on the road, and we wanted to be heading home to Austin before 11 a.m. But if you visit, take the hike. It's steep, but it lets you experience the slow transition from daylight to darkness the way the early explorers did, and there's a good chance you'll see some of the bats. It's definitely something we wish we hadn't skipped. So these above me are lion's tail, stalactite, and popcorn, because they look like these funky balls of popcorn. And they go just like right over your head. There's this one right in front of us, and then there's one that's like right over us. It's crazy what the boomers wanted some of these parks to be, because at one point in the 30s, they wanted to blast a giant hole in here, dig it out, and make it tours for automobiles. Like you could take your car and drive through, which is insane. Because already, I mean, they had to cut out all of this pathway for us people to be able to walk on. And it's about a solid 4 feet wide that they have, you know, paved over just to have us be able to walk in and through. Could you imagine making it car friendly? Actually insane. Who thought that was a good idea? I'm glad they did not do that. There's so many of these pools of water, and they're more reflective than any water I have seen before. I don't know if it's because it's probably sulfuric, or if it's because it's just dark in here, so the only thing they can reflect is the little bit of light that is being shown. It's kind of hard to see, but there's clusters of finger-like formations called pole fingers that hang below the shelf stone. And although they're stone now, they actually used to be gel-like and made out of bacteria. There's really nothing like visiting some of these natural wonders to really contemplate the human experience and our importance, because we think that we're the center of the universe sometimes. But things like this cave, the mountains that we visited, they have been here for millions, if not billions of years before the human race, and they will be here for millions, if not billions of years after us. They've seen things that we could only imagine or try to reconstruct with science, and it's just incredible. And it's even more incredible how we create such worries over some silly, very silly things sometimes, that we create hate over very, very silly things sometimes, when I think really we're just out here to enjoy, be a part of, participate in this beautiful natural world. I mean, I think no matter what religion you were born into, I think most of them come from a partial belief that humans were put on this earth to protect, cultivate, and care for it and the creatures on it. I don't think we always do a great job of that. This park system is definitely a start, right? Now, if you are planning a visit over here, wear comfortable shoes. You have to wear closed-toed shoes, but I'm wearing my Doc Martens that are a size too small, and I'm chilling as far as feet go. There are some parts that are wheelchair accessible, but we've reached a few points that said no more wheelchairs past this point, so I don't really know exactly what route that you would take if you were needing some type of accommodation like that. You cannot bring your dog here, obviously, but it did seem like they had kennels outside, so that's cool. So I think you can bring your dog to the park and then rent or kennel them while you go through, which is pretty unique. And as always, the biggest thing is if you visit a park or any other park like this, make sure that you leave it better than you found it. After hours of exploring, it was time for us to head back up to the surface, although not without first sending some postcards from 750 feet underground. Water once moved through these walls, leaving behind formations that took millions of years to grow. Stalactites hang like frozen drips from the ceiling, while massive columns and delicate formations rise from the cavern floor. Now it's silent, still. A place where time lingers, where the weight of the earth settles around you. We're just a blip, really, lost in the noise of our own existence. In a place like this, you're reminded that human life is fleeting and the earth will keep moving long after we're gone. Some things are just bigger than we are, and admitting it will make us better for it. I think it's time for us to go back to Texas.
Absolutely.
Let's go. Let's go.
Absolutely.
CSGO. I always say, what do I say? But yeah, and let's go.
Look at it.
It's crazy that every time I say any of those phrases, take a shot. Adi had to go back inside because he left his water bottle in the cave. I can't believe as we exit this park and get in the car, it marks the end of our road trip. It's crazy to think that we went from the highest point in Texas to 750 feet below ground just within 24 hours. Together on this trip, we explored Big Bend, canoed the Rio Grande, saw shooting stars and mapped constellations in the Davis Mountains, and golly, just so much more in the span of 7 days. I am so appreciative of you going on this journey with us. If you enjoyed it, I hope that you decide to subscribe and stick around. We have so many more travels and adventures ahead of us, and I want to end this video by letting you know that we did not get our Chick-fil-A. The only Chick-fil-A between Carlsbad, New Mexico and Austin is in Austin, Texas. But as always, thanks for watching. Bye.